Good evening, guys. Sagar this side, your trainer. I'm audible, and do you guys see my screen? You can confirm me over the chat. Okay, loud and clear, correct? All right, so we have participants joining, but we can get started with the formal introduction about this workshop, the batch, about myself, about a few of the participants. So as you know, I'll be the trainer for this particular batch, and I have more than 10 plus of experience, and I've been conducting the DevNet, the CCI security, the firewall mastery courses for last couple of years, trained more than 20,000 people, been doing corporate training for companies like Infosys, HCL, Wipro, Cognizant, and my expertise is over on enterprise, DevNet, security. So before we get started, I would like few of you to introduce yourself. I have few people whom I think were my past student as well. I can see Pawan, I can see Alok, right? So if you guys can unmute and tell a bit about how the training went, uh, and kind of like what's your experience, if you can share with the others, plus the others who would be joining for the very first time. I would kind of request you, in you can just unmute and kind of let me know why, what's the purpose of attending this, what are you expecting out of this batch, are you already doing the automation, uh, do you have any prior knowledge on Python or Ansible or API? So, what is the cause for you to be here in this session? Okay. So, let me unmute you guys. You guys can go one after one. So, give me just a minute. All right. So, I've unmuted. Can you try to see if you have that unmute option with you? Yes, I can see most of the people has it. Yeah, hi Alok. I can see you unmuted. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey Sagar, last year in the month of November, I joined the same course, but due to last few classes, I missed, so I felt that let's revise again. And in last 6 months, what I observed that whatever I have learned in your in this program, I try to implement in my professional career, and it is really helpful for me at that time. Basically the thing which I implemented is related to API, and also with the help of Excel, if there is some data is in Excel, how I can extract it, and I make a script with the help of that, basically related to storage zoning related thing. So that's the two things which I implemented, and it is really helpful for me in my career wise, and also I feel that
Mhm.
this course is
So,
good for me.
yeah, so Alok, for API, which target device you're been hitting? Which vendor?
Basically, I am working in a data center, so we are working with Cisco ACI. So with the help of REST API, I try to implement how I can take the data of what are the tenant, and how to implement the how to create the EPG
Mhm.
endpoint group, and how to pass the VLAN. So these are the few things which I implemented.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So Cisco ACI automation, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, great, great, great. So looks like it's working good for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So who else wants to introduce? The new participant can introduce. I would like to understand what's going around the world. You guys are working on any automation project, or you have any project on a pipeline for which you would like to attend this.
Yeah, hi, Sagar. This is Manu Singh. That's Manoranjan Singh.
Yeah. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. You're audible. Yeah. Please continue.
Okay, so I'm already working on this automation stuff, and I just want to enhance my skill. And I never took any professional course like this before, but somehow I landed into the job and landed into this profile, and I'm working already. So I have in networking, I have like 12 plus years of experience and working on Ansible, Python, and we are already using the automation and stuff to push the configurations and manage our network devices and all. So
Okay. So, Manoranjan, are you the same person who is enrolled to the batch, right? If I'm not
yes,
wrong.
yes, I'm a new guy.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, great, great. Because we have some people taking demo as well today, along with the enrolled people. So I may not be aware who is enrolled and who is not. So pardon me my question for it. Okay,
No problem. Actually, I have enrolled already, and I'm
okay.
interested in doing this.
So what are you doing with your automation when you say you already have been doing this? So what type of
Okay.
automation?
So we have like Cisco devices, not much of the Cisco switches and routers. We are doing automation for Juniper switches and routers, Cisco SA and firepower devices, as well as we have like OOB devices like Open Gear. So we are managing everything using the automation Ansible and net config. Of course, there is Python is the backbone everywhere.
Okay, so which library in Python are you using for Cisco automation?
So we are using PyCharm here.
Okay, no, library. Which library in Python?
Sorry, I missed your question. So library, what do you mean by library? Sorry.
Like Netmiko, Paramiko, Nornia.
Oh, sorry, Paramiko. What I said actually in my last answer.
Oh, okay, okay. I think you said PyCharm.
Oh, sorry, man.
Okay,
Sorry,
I was
sorry.
wondering why you said. Okay, not an issue,
Okay,
not
I confused by the name PyCharm
okay.
and Paramiko.
Yeah, not an issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Ravi Shankar. Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, hi Sagar. I wish to ask one thing that you will be teaching only Python or you will be teaching Devnet as well.
I'll come to that. Let's just finish this formal round. You can introduce yourself, and then I'll answer every questions. Okay.
Yeah, myself, Ravi Shankar, and had some programming languages in my academics.
Okay. So you
And
work with any networking devices or a generic Python exposure
no,
you?
I work with networking devices,
Okay.
and that's the question I wish to ask with you. That since if on okay, let's talk about that. You are will be teaching about network automation.
Yes, I'll come to that. I'll come to that. Anything related to course, we'll have a Q&A. Okay.
One with the so people who are purely networking background, and
Correct.
one will
Correct.
give and one will be with the people who might be having networking background as well as some part of programming background knowledge or also, right?
See, this batch is for someone who is from a regular core routing switching with zero automation knowledge. So I'll be teaching it from the basic, and I'll be making you guys to that extent at the end of the batch where you can start writing your NetMiko script. You can start automating a via API if you're creating any tenants. You are configuring a policy on a firewalls. So you will be reaching to that extent from zero level to kind of a level can attend interview, you can showcase your skills in your enterprise.
Okay, so for from zero to the level which you will be bringing in, how much span it will take?
It will take 2 to 3 months. It will take. So this would be every day 1 to 1.5 hour. Monday to Thursday. From today to the next 2 to 3 months, you have to be engaged with this curriculum.
Okay.
So I'll talk about this. Give me some time. We'll come to this.
Okay, thank you, sir. That was my field region of interest,
Yeah,
which I wish to ask. Thank you.
sure. Okay, okay, okay. So how many of you are with zero Python skill, zero Ansible skill, zero PyATS, zero completely in the programming? Okay, we have Rajan. We have a lot of people with complete zero. So why are you here? I mean, what is the cause for you to be here? Is just because this is too free workshop? That is the reason, or you have something in pipeline where you would like to prefer jumping to another? So what is the reason behind here?
Hey Sagar, Rajendra here.
Yeah, yeah. Hi,
So
Rajan.
basically, first of all, I already enrolled for this course, and answer to your question is, I think it's no more the basically an optional for the people who are part of networking. It has become the need of the hour. As if you see, you know, SD-WAN, SASE, cloud, and all sort of network devices which is coming. It has some sort of this Python or basic scripting, whether it's
Mhm.
some XML file they have, or any other scripting hypervisor, or some any other device
Yes,
where it has.
yes.
So I think it's a need of the hour, and for people like me who has been more into networking, routing, switching, and some data center stuff, but not much aware about the programming. So that is the reason, yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
And in fact, I feel that you know the other things which if I want to learn, or if I want to try my hands like data science or anything, the first requirement is I should know these basic programming, API and Python and all
Mhm.
those things.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who else? Anyone else?
Sir,
Swapnil?
my name is Swapnil Chaudhary.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, Sir, I'm currently working in networking, like routing and switching, CCN and CCNP I have done.
Mhm.
And my reason for joining this batch is like, now I don't know what to exactly to do in future. Like, what should I choose? Like, better line, means like, should I do cloud, or should I do Python, or firewall, or load balancer? I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
I totally unaware about such things. So what is the right path to go ahead with learning new courses? Like, I am totally unaware about this Python and all Ansible. I have just heard the things.
Mhm. Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, Mr. Peter, you there? You were trying to unmute. If you would like to share, you can please. Uh, Peter, I think you are not connected to the mic. Can you please? All right. So I think we'll go with the next section now. So I'm just keeping everyone on mute. So, guys, what I felt from interacting with you, that couple of them are here for upgradation of their skills. Some of them are here to take a professional course from a certified trainer. Some of you have no clue with the programming. That is why you're here to learn something and kind of upskill yourself, jump into the next level. Some of you are thinking from the certification point of view, like let's say Peter says that Peter is studying for CCI, and that is why he needs to do Python and automation. So you talk about any stream or any domain here in networking or cybersecurity or DevOps or uh, any tracks. Automation is by default being added now. Okay, you do any certification, you do CCI, you do cybersecurity, CCNP, DevNet. DevNet is already known for automation, but any certification. Say, for example, I would like to show you the Cisco certification. So when you click on this link, which takes you to all the recent certification from Cisco, let me just open CCNA, which is a very foundation course of the Cisco certification. So let me show you where does this automation has been embedded in the topics. So when you open up the section wise, there is a section 3 or chapter 3 with 10% of weightage, which is purely automation. So here is where you will learn regards to the API, regards to the HTTP protocol, regards to the JSON model, YANG model. So this is a small section which is included in your regular routing switching topic. All right. The regular routing switching. Once upon a time, this used to be called as routing switching, but now this has been revamped and been called as 200301, which includes an automation topic. Now, similar way, let's say I take CCNP as an example. Let me take CCNP Enterprise, and I have a lot of people taking CCNP Security. So let me show you what does these has it. So if you open the mandatory paper, which is called NCore paper, so there would be a dedicated chapter specially for the automation topics. See, the chapter number 6, which carries 15% in your NCore paper. So this is once again gonna be comprising of Python, JSON, the Cisco DNA API, the REST API, the agent versus agentless modules, right? Similar way, let me show you the CCNP also has certain concentration paper. You have the SD-WAN, you have a wireless, you have a design, you have a new module especially for cloud perspective. So you open any of them, you will see the topic related to automation. So let's say if I open a SD-WAN, so there would be a chapter dedicated for automation topic with respective to SD-WAN here. Okay. Similar way, if you like, let's say you don't want to go with the other concentration paper, but instead you would like to go with the automation from the CCNP enterprise point of view, then there is a dedicated module for that. It's called N-Auto. So if you open up this, you will see complete end-to-end topic related to the programming or related to the automation. So this is all 6 chapters related to automation. So your expectation is you learn Python, you learn the Git operations, APIs, the different YANG models, the REST-conf, the NetConf. See, these are the end devices. DNAC used in the SD access, SD-WAN used for the WAN SDN solution, and this is a cloud solution, Meraki. Right? So this is a paper which is completely dedicated for automation. I'm talking from CCNP point of view. Now, if you go to CCNP security, which is over here, do the same thing. You know that score is a mandatory paper. So open up, go to the exam topics. So there is a topic related to the automation here. Similar way, if you just scroll below, you will see there is a dedicated topic for automation, S-Auto. Now, this S-Auto will be more focused or inclined towards the security appliance, FTD automation, Cisco Umbrella, Cisco ESA, WSA, right? So let's check that. What are, just from overview, let's see what are they trying to touch. See, there's an email, there's a web, cloud, advanced threat, the FTD, the Cisco ICE. So Cisco's all security appliance dedicated to security appliance, you will see the automation topics in this particular subject or in this particular certification. So this was few certification from the CCNP point of view. Now let's say if you are preparing for CCI. So let me open CCI here, CCI Enterprise. So click on the topic here. Let's say I click on the infrastructure 1.0. See, there is a dedicated topic, chapter number 5, 15% of weightage. You will see once again the terminology getting repeated. JSON, YAML, XML, the EM applet, the Python module, the APIs, the young models, right? The things which we saw from CCNA perspective till the CCI, they have been getting more and more. So in CCNA, the percentage was 10%, then it increased to 15%. Now in the CCI, they have added another 15% with more number and more depth topic that you can expect it. At present, there is not needed that the actual CCI lab has a task on the automation or not. But yes, in future there would be one or two tasks which you can expect from the automation side, right? Now that was from the regular tracks, the enterprise and the security. Now what Cisco did, Cisco thought the freshers, the graduates who wants to get into the networking need to learn networking, but can straight away start with network automation. So they introduced a new parallel domain called DevNet, developer plus network engineer. Now, when you open the certification, DevNet Associate, which is equivalent to CCNA, this is for CCNP, and now there is a CCI level as well. Now, if you see this certification, they're more towards the automation once again. And this topic, this DevNet Associate, will almost touch all the other automation topic from rest of the stream as well. You will see the topics from CCNA, you will see the topics from the Encore CCNP Enterprise. You will see some topic getting repeated from the CCI Enterprise. So this is a topic which is more inclined towards the automation. So when you climb the ladder, when you go to the CCNP level, you will see the things getting more in depth. You might need to deploy them and do the needful task. When you go to the expert level, the things will get more in depth, where you have to do the task or error fixing or figure out some bugs introduced. So the levels expectation will increase. So if you see the CCNA paper, the CCNA DevNet Associate paper, this is purely relevant to the automation topics. Now, a graduate or a fresher who is starting with CCNA DevNet would not know what is router, what is a ARP table, what is a routing table, what is OSPF. That is why the chapter 6 is dedicated for network fundamental. Okay. Now, this is for someone who asked me during the introduction part, if I am a core network routing switching person, how would I grab the automation side, right? So this is what you have to start from. So this is the topic where we will start from very scratch. So scratch in the sense, first in the course module, we will start with the Python theory. All right. So this is our official website link, Network Journeys link. This is the whole course module, which is packed with number of topics, theory, labs, etc., which will be for next 1 to 2 months. So first, I will be starting with Python theory. I'll cover up the 8 modules. Then I'll go to the Python libraries, where I'll take module 9 to module 17, starting with NetMiko. Then I'll go with NEPAM, PyNTC, Paramiko, Scapy, Subprocess, Nornia. After the Python module, we will get started with the Ansible module, where I would cover the Ansible Tower, Ansible Galaxy, the deployment of Tower on the Red Hat Enterprise, AWX on the CentOS, writing of a playbook from very scratch level. So that would be completely for the Ansible section. After that, considering the topic from all the way from certification point of view, the API thing is also very important. So we will get started with API. We'll talk about the REST API using the HTTP protocol. We will talk about the XML API. We will talk about protocol like RESTconf, NetConf, YANG models. So all those will be demonstrated here. And when I demonstrate, I would be needing end devices. So I would consider SD-WAN, ACI, Palo Alto, FortiGate, Cisco router and switches, right? So there are n number of end devices that we can consider while we demonstrate this. And then then what I would do once this API is done, then I'll get into the DevNet syllabus. So DevNet is nothing but this one, the 200901. And again, this is a complete coverage from the blueprint perspective. We will see all the topics one by one. So this is okay, where is 901? Yeah, this is 901, right? So we will talk about each topic. In case if you're preparing for certification, you have certain deadlines, your KPIs, where you have told your manager, I would be certifying this by this date, etc., right? So this is the certification that we would be touching here. So this entire thing has to be covered in the next 1.5 to 2.5 month. That is why when I was taking the introduction, I told you we start from the basic thing, but I'll make sure you are in a position of writing your own script, do the API call, do the Ansible deployment, right? So how would I make you guys prepare? Because we have certain section dedicated for project. After every completion of a topic, let's say I completed NetMiko, I'll give you 2 projects. I completed with Ansible, I'll give you another 2 to 3 projects. So this project is where you will start writing yourself and then submit it, and then we discuss this in the live class. So you will tell me what went good and what went bad. Everything will be discussed in the live class. So the project is something which will come module by module. And the main intention for giving you project is to make you write. Rather than you see me writing in the live class, I want you to be motivated to prepare your own script. Even if it is a small script to fetch just output for show IP int brief on the first day, that is fine. But at the end, we will make sure that you write some complex script, you think about some logic, you want to automate a very repetitive task in your enterprise to something automated. So that is when this will be very handful. Okay, so this is from the official blueprint of network journeys, where we will be covering the modules. I have shown you why automation is important, how it will help you. Let me also take another 5 minutes just to show you the market demand. Okay, so see, I'm on my official LinkedIn page. If we are not connected, you can send me the request. We are all connected here. You will be receiving a lot of free material sometimes shared by me. I keep sharing some materials or certain things, uh, like some scripts sometimes, etc. All right, come back. Now let's see the main intention of showing you the current trend. You all know that nowadays we normally don't go to these monster Naukri, etc., they are all bombarded with so much of spam or annoying HRs, etc., that there's of no use now. Just rely on LinkedIn jobs, you will get plenty of quality jobs. So this is all tricks I'll talk in the real classes once we start as well. I'll also prepare your resume, I'll help you preparing your resume, the terminology that you should be, and the terminology that the HR recruiter is gonna enter and search for the candidate, right? So you should target the right keyword. So I'll help you, do not worry. See, now what I have done is I just went and searched for network engineer. I have kept India for simplicity, and I got plenty of job posted, right? Now the point here is why automation is important. So let's say if I click on one of them, they are a very regular terminology. Network architect is not a new thing. It's a very well-known terminology. If you try to read about the company, well, this is also a very old company. If you read about the roles and responsibility, preferred qualification, you will get to know certain things. Let's say if you read the roles and technology, right? This looks like very regular, a core networking side. But do you see certain things that the HR has posted? Technical abilities. So the person should be aware of programming, scripting language, Python and Ansible. Though they have not looking for automation engineer, but on a regular basis as well, nowadays companies company wants a person to be aware with the programming language, right? So let's see some more things. Let's say if I have something here. So you have the cloud thing over here. See, when they have this many vendors, so basically they would also be looking for them to automate it. No one in this generation wants to do the traditional networking, right? See, they have SD-WAN, they have F5 load balancer, they have ACI. So that is very something to remember, that they would be also looking them to automate. So here is where you should prepare for your upskillment. So you should know what is in demand and what is the right track for you to take it. Some people are very clueless, that they say I am CCNA, I'm CCNB, but I'm not sure what is next now. So you should see what's the current demand going on, right? Say if they are telling you a certain job role for a simple network engineer, you see what vendors they are using. They're making use of SD-WAN. They are using Meraki. So this is something where the automation can be applied. The regular things have become very common these days. No one will ask you, are you are you expert in BGP, OSPF, or HSRP? They have become very mandatory. They have become very regular things. They know, they expect that you know this in depth, but they also expect you know more than all this regular thing, because these are there for last 15-20 years now. Every person, freshers or the newcomers, they will have to do this in their regular CCNA topics, right? So how would you differentiate yourself from them? So there is when you will see the technology like SD-WAN, ACI, cloud, uh, any such advanced topic. When you see, when you see that that particular company has it, that means you should impress that HR with the help of automation. So you should say that I can automate this and this, where I can reduce your let's say 1 month of manual effort into 1 day, or let's say into 1 hour. So that level of confidence, when you talk during the interview process, it's more likely that the HR wants to, or HR or the technical panel wants to take another round with you to understand what is your automation skill set, what type of automation you can do it. Because at the end, every enterprise want a error free, a human error free, reliable kind of enterprise or network, right? Where you can do a 1 month of task, a manual task, into couple of hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, so that at the end they are happy with whatsoever they're kind of expecting from you, right? So this is just a regular network engineer, but if you are already into the automation side, then definitely you should look for network automation engineer. Now you will find all the job relevant to the network automation person. Now the expectation is more. Now they will expect you to kind of do a advanced Cisco ACI automated process, or they want you to do perform the firewall security policies, or the iOS upgradation, all over on the automation side, Python automation side. So you can read few roles and responsibilities. You can understand what are the demands going on. So you can see this is EY, there is a open text consultant, network automation. See, they have Python, they have Ansible, right? Sometimes the role could be on the management process, management side. Now you might be wondering, as a manager, why should I learn this automation process? So see, if you're into management, there would be need for you to propose certain things, or certain reports to your management or your client to bring more business, right? Let's say you take a report of an existing client and tell him that you are running at this iOS version, and on this version you have this known vulnerable bugs, or these backdoors. So we have this report for you. Now you decide whether you'd like to upgrade your uh, iOS devices, or would you like to hard fix those vulnerable ports, or you would like to put the best practice? I have the report for you. I can see on this device you have HTTP enabled, which should not be. I see this device has telnet port enabled. I see this port do not have a port security enabled. I see this port are connected to the end device and they are still on a non-port fast feature. So when, as a manager, as a operation, or as a project manager, if you can propose this reports to your client, they will definitely give you more business, more revenue, which will impact your position to another jump or a senior position, right? So automation is not just for network engineers, it's for even a network. If you're from management side, this can also be used. I have been now training for a couple of years. I have seen a lot of people who have taken this kind of switch from their existing role to another role by just showcasing what they have learned in this batch. So recently, we had a person who wanted to do certain automation uh, from his uh, from his machine to another client's machine, right? So we discussed one script and then he took it on his own, and then he kind of prepared it for FortiGate and Palo Alto. We discussed in the live class, and we made a lot of changes, and now that's a working script in his production. So, and he has a very good highlight now saying that he is an automation engineer, doing very good with whatever he. So that's how you have to upskill, and whatever upskillment you do, you need to bring it in your the real production life, because learning and not using it is of no use. Again, you will forget after a few days, right? So you learn whatever you from the live class, try to implement on your lab first, then showcase to your manager. With the manager approval, try to do it on a live device, at least on one or two, with the permission from the manager. If he's okay, if he can get you the approval to do it on a large scale, then go ahead and do that step, and you will see how you proceed with, how you progress with your career, right? So that is how we do it. It's not that we wait for something to come to us. It should be the other way. We have some skill set, then show it, and then take the progress. All right, so come back. So that was from the job perspective, the trend from the market that's going on. And I've also shown you the certification part, where is the automation and why it is important. I've also showed you the network journey, which is our institute official website. I'll also give you this link in case if you'd like to see. So this is the link where the complete detailed package is given. Uh, if you just click on this drop downs, you will see what exactly we are kind of would be doing. So starting with a very simple scripts like taking off, running a backup or certain show commands, configurations. We would also be dealing with the Excel reading, multi-vendor devices like Arista, ASA, Juniper, Palo Alto, FTD, Cisco router switches, F5, LTM, right? So the detailed things are given uh, to each section. So you can just open it and read it once you're free after this class. All right, so let's go to the next section. Now, this is a section which I would kind of keep it interactive. I've been talking for a long now. So this is a this is kind of interactive session where you are gonna tell me what is that traditional thing which you are still doing. It could be taking off 100 device backup, or it could be doing a manual pre or post check, right? I want to understand where we stand. Uh, what is the practice that you're using for any change window or any audit report? Or let's say if someone is asking you to create a Excel with the current iOS version, so how are you kind of working out? How are you taking those things? Okay, so let me unmute you people. You can like go one by one, or if you want to pitch in and tell me, I'll be writing it over here.
Hello, my name is Wahid Mushtaq. Okay.
Yeah, hi, Wahid.
Hi. So what I'm going to looking for this one automation is, for example, if we're like configuring, for example, Fortinet firewalls from scratch. Okay. So what I want to do is to automate it using the scripts, like the basic setting and as a variable, right? So this is the one I have to do it from scratch every time, and it takes a lot of labor work, right? So
Okay, so you mean to say
that's my
pushing
yeah.
of policies and all these things?
Exactly. IPs, basic policies, DNS setting, NTP, like this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say policy push on firewalls like the DNS, the NTP, right?
Yeah, syslog, yeah,
Yes.
gateway, static route,
Yes,
for
correct.
example, like the onboarding stuff for the new devices.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else, guys? Who is going next? What is the traditional thing that you still do in the production?
Hi, this is Veer. I can go. One thing would be iOS patching. Like we have about 1,000 devices in our environment, and most of them are single platform, same process, but I have to do them manually today. Like image push or the reboot treatment, changing the treatment, or taking backups. All of that has to be done manually. And also, like if there's a vulnerability, config-based vulnerability for which we have to verify the configuration by running a show command, I have to go each and every device, run that show command manually.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. See, while we do iOS upgrade, this is one of the process that we follow. We do pre-checks, we copy the image, we check the MD5, we change the boot variable, we do the reboot process. Once the device come up with the upgraded version, we redo the post check. Then we need to check the diff check, we normally call, where we check the post versus pre. We see if the interface is down or the routing protocols have converged, which is very time consuming process. So we will see in the live class a complete workflow till the end, where we can generate the diff check. So I'll show you some reports. I'll show you some method over on Python automation. How would you take the diff check over on HTML with the color distinguish features, like something changed, then show in red, something updated, then show in green, etc., etc. Okay, next, what else you guys been doing? Very traditional.
Hello, hi, Zubair here.
Yes, hi Zubair, go ahead.
Basically, network operations. Like, I'll just give a small example. Example of creating a VLAN. So you have to create a VLAN not on one switches. You need to create VLAN on multiple switches across the network for one thing to work. So the idea is to create a playbook which can push the configuration on multiple devices, be it Cisco devices or firewalls in that case, create its own policy.
Yes, correct. So this is also a challenging thing when you do a config push on multiple devices, which is a very challenging thing, multi devices. Right. So you cannot expect yourself logging to each device to do certain VLANs, certain users, etc. So this the whole process could be also automated with very simple Python scripts or Ansible playbook or whatsoever. Whatever is the automation, you can just automate them. Okay, what else?
Hello, Sagar. My name is Adeche.
Yeah, hi. Yes.
Yeah. Basically, I actually want a platform where I can centrally operate different devices on my network. In my network, to be precise, we have is a multi-vendor environment in which we have different devices being managed by their own NMS. Like Cisco, we have DNAC, ACI, firewall, we have ICE, on the F5 environment, we also have the same. Huawei, Nokia, we also have different NMS managing them. My basically, like I said, my learning curve in this training should be a position where I will have a central device that will monitor or manage all these devices without having to log on to each platform to query or troubleshoot or create a policy and other stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why which I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah, so this is something where you want to centralize, you want to control from single plane management.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. So this is also where you'd like your automation to be introduced. Otherwise, what happens for individual appliance or individual edge device, you have to log in, get the inventory. If you just can write a simple API call, you can fetch the complete details from a single centralized controller. Okay, what else?
To avoid repetitive tasks.
Like more explanation, please.
If we are doing repetitive tasks like monitoring and those kind of things, repetitive patching, pushing, that kind of things.
Okay, see, I'll just kind of reiterate this. Say, for example, someone asks you to, let's say, show process CPU command on multiple devices. Okay, on let's say 100 of devices. So this is something which will take a lot of time for you to trigger and copy paste it somewhere. So this is something which you can automate and you can put in a iteration process where you can just with single script you can handle them. Or let's say that you have multiple device and someone asks you to run multiple commands: show run, show IP, int brief, show clock, etc., etc. Let's say 10 different commands. The whole process can be iterated in a looping concept, and you can just do the whole task in just 15 to 30 minutes. So you don't have to spend hours or days or months to do this job. Okay. So anything which is done repetitively, the same type of task, you can just iterate them process. And one single script run over on multiple device, multiple CLI command. You need the backup at the same time to be collected. Everything just in 15-30 minutes, your task is done and your job is over. Okay, what else?
We can monitor the devices with the help of like Grafana tool.
Yes, you can integrate any third-party vendors. Any third-party vendors with respective to your devices, let's say Cisco as an example, and keeping intermediately these things. Okay.
Addition to this question, same question. For example, do we have some tool or something on Python, like as a graphic to fetch the data using the Python? Is that something we will be covering off?
There are libraries. So you should see that the vendor, let's say Grafana, they have a dedicated Python libraries, or they have a API for you. So whatsoever automation method that they are been encouraging, you can use the same and fetch it out.
Yeah,
Say
there
for
is API. With the help of API, we can map.
yes, see, it depends on the vendor sometime. Let's say I have few automation tools with me, let's say Python, Ansible, and let's say API. Now, Cisco has a module you need to check. And do Cisco has a Ansible package you need to check. You need to see if Cisco has a API. Similar way, let's say Grafana. Now you need to see whether they have a package which can be used with Grafana. You should see whether they have a package compatible on Ansible, which can automate Grafana or API. So it's a other way around. It's the vendor whose developer whose backend developers will work on the automation package, and they will release the code on the respective thing, because these are open source method. We don't pay for anything to be used on Python or Ansible, so they are not gonna make anything for Grafana. It's the other way around. Grafana's developer will make the things easier for the users who purchase those products. So let's say if I purchase Grafana, or let's say any alternative competitive competitors which can do the same job of Grafana, then I will see whether they have a package in Python or Ansible or API. Okay.
Yeah, Sagar, Manu here. This Grafana thing we are already using, and actually, let me tell you, I'm not expert in automation. That's why I'm here. I'm still learning. So yeah, Grafana thing we are already using, and we are automating that using InfluxDB and using the API of Grafana. So
Yes.
I'm not an expert. I'm learning with my teammates and doing it.
See, most of the vendor, 99% vendor, if it's a new product, then they first come up with the API. So let's say, how would you check? So you just go and check for, let's say, Palo Alto API. You go and check for Cisco ACI APIs. You go and check for, let's say, Grafana API. So you will get them on the official documentation itself. Okay, so these are all the tips and tricks that we will use in the class to understand where you start from. Okay, see, now if you go to Grafana, they have the package. Now, when, let's say, if they are giving you the APIs over on the public, how would you use them to kind of run the automation, right? So that is what is important that we are gonna learn. If you talk from Cisco ACI, the APIs are exposed to the public. Anyone can go and check the APIs. Same goes with Palo Alto. You can see the complete API calls here. But how would you use it? That is the thing which we learn in the class. Similar way, if you go to the Ansible, let's say you are a fanboy for Ansible, uh, then go and look at the Ansible Galaxy package. Now, let's say I have been asked to work on the Palo Alto, to automate Palo Alto. Then I'll come over here and then I check over here if I have a necessary package to do that. See, I have a package here. So it's not Ansible who has created it. It's official Palo Alto who is gonna create and give it on these open source material. See, API. There are a lot of other types of API. We have paid APIs as well, but we also have a free APIs. So free APIs, the Python, it's a open source. Ansible is open source. So the vendors will work, the developers who sits behind those respective vendor, they will work on the APIs which are supported on their own hardwares, and those APIs or those package are being released on the free community. So this is a free community called Ansible Galaxy. We will see in the class how you install the package and write your playbook, how the modules are run. Let me just show you the some of the modules here in Ansible. So let's say if you'd like to trigger the playbook on Palo Alto without the help of username and password, we can take out username and password and bring up something called API key. It's like a session ID, which is valid for certain minutes. That depends on what you set in the Palo Alto dashboard. There is an option when you go to Palo Alto settings administrator. There is an option to do it for 1 day, etc., etc. So some see, when it is a large scale enterprise, they would not kind of let you to use username and password. They would say that make use of API key, right? So there is a small playbook which you can use to retrieve those session ID. After the session ID is being retrieved, we will add it in our playbook and then run the show. And now my Ansible playbook will run it for the configuration. If I would like to, let's say, commit the firewall, if I want to push new security policies, NAT rule, whatsoever, I have the templates with me. I will put it in a right way, right pattern. That is the most important thing, and you will run the show. Okay, so you should know how if the things are given to you, how would you do it? See, for example, now this is the playbook. Now, if I give you this block of codes, do you think can put it in a right format and run the show and configure the NAT rules on the Palo Alto? So that level of confidence is what you need to have it. You will get everything source. Python, Ansible are not paid one. You will get n number of script these days. But how would you put them in a right pattern? That matters. Okay. And when you keep practicing the same thing again and again, you will start writing the things or the block by yourself then. All right, so this was Ansible. Now, similar way, let me also show you the Python marketplace or community, which we call. So they also have a wide range of library. So let me just show you for Python, Cisco, let's say. So if you want kind of, let's say Python Netmiko. So this is a package which can go with multi vendors, Palo Alto, Cisco, FortiGate, F5, lot of things. You need speed, then go with the Nornier, which will have a concept of concurrency, multi-threading concept, right? Okay, come back. So what are the other things here? Yeah, Sandeep, I can see you have lifted your hand. Do you want to contribute something? You can please unmute.
Yeah, hi, Sagar.
Yeah.
This is Sandeep, and I'm already taking the firewall mastery course. It's in progress. So my question is like, is there any way can we configure multiple access or core switches which are just unpacked from a box, like the new switches?
See, day zero config, you have to do it. There are again certain automation tools which can do the basic things, like at least enable of SSH, the interface management IP. The minimum basic things, if you can do it, the rest you can automate via Python and Ansible.
Okay, so basically assigning the IP addresses and then pushing the packages, like copying the images and then upgrading it and then pushing the content.
No, that and all you do it later on, and the upgrade via the automation you do it. Say, for example, there is something called day zero when the box is unboxed, right? So what you do is just put a management IP, configure the SSH, do the necessary line VTY, create a username, and hand over this to automation guy.
Okay.
Now, what automation guy over on the remote would do is he will do all the running config that might have been backed up or want to do it from a fresh level. Any VLANs you want to configure, any routing protocol, any BGP you want to configure. Plus, let's say you want to upgrade any self-signed certificate or a purchase certificate. Or let's say to answer your question, you were asking about iOS. So here is where he can do it remotely as well, the iOS upgradation.
Okay.
Okay, you just give him with the basic needful things, and rest he will do it.
Got it, sir. But for every switch, they need to configure the management IP, right? So is there any way, like with making one switch as a master switch and then connecting all the switches to it so that it can automatically get the IPs using any automation tool? Is there any way to do that?
Yes, you can connect them over on DHCP. Nowadays, most of the vendors come with a pre-configured DHCP. So if you just put them on a DHCP server, all the devices will have a management device. Then what he can do is he can run some automation script and he can scan the network /24, and he'll get to know how many devices are alive and what device type it belongs to, whether it's a Cisco switch, then he will consider it. If for some reason he is getting devices like the access point, or let's say printers, the non-SSH type, then he can exclude them.
Okay.
Okay, so you can scan the complete network.
Okay. Understood.
And there is a feature when we start with Netmiko package, there is a feature called auto detect. So this
Okay.
feature will tell you whether it's a Cisco device, whether it's a Palo device, whether it's a FGT, and if it is a non-SSH based, then you can just rule out the other things and just consider this. Okay, so this this will come when I would be discussing. Let me show you. So here, somewhere here in this case, it will come auto detect features.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah. Got it, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So, well, guys, so this is something which is it very traditional why we want to automate. It could be upgrading device, rebooting, taking backup, configuring the configuration job, the show collection of the show commands. Now, there is one thing which no one has told me, which is also a very use case scenario. Let's say if someone asks you to create a audit report, have you guys created any audit report to see what DHCP lines you are using in your network, or are to see whether you're making use of a .1x protocol, to see if you're making use of all the best compliance. Let's say if a interface is up, then whether it has a description, right? So this is something also called as compliance check. Every company has its own compliance. They want to see whether the HTTP is enabled or blocked. Every protocol that you name, they have a standard practice, a best practice. Whether you are making use of a authentication key, whether are you using it, having a loop back considered, right? So this is an audit report compliance where we check the compliance. Now, if a company is clocking, let's say 50% compliance or 45% compliance, that means they are very much vulnerable to the attacks. There are things which should not be enabled, or there are things which are not configured. So you as a management guy, or let's say if your job is to, or a consultant, if your job is to give the best advice to your customer or the client, you can generate a report in a format of Excel. Make needful columns. So let's say you are working on an Excel output. So you want to keep a host name, the serial ID of it, the current iOS it's working, whether HTTP is enabled or not, whether .1x is enabled or not, or let's say the port fast on the access port is enabled or not. So this kind of report, we call it as an audit report, when you know what is running on your network. Now, how would you prepare the Excel? You should take help of a Python library called OpenXYL or XLRD, XLWT. You will integrate it with the SSH capable libraries like Netmiko, Paramiko, generate. Now, when you generate, you might see that these outputs, say, let's say if I have a device with me, you will see that they give you a complete output. They don't give you straightforward just the data. So let's say if on my first line, on my first over here, I would like to put the host name. Let's say if it is switch 01. Is there any way I can fetch only the exact data? Is there any way? What command can give me the exact data? Can someone tell me, the network engineers?
Sagar, can you repeat?
I load.
Sorry, can you repeat your questions, Sagar?
I want to fetch only the data in my Excel. I want to fetch the host name from the devices.
Okay.
So how can I get that?
So version?
Show version will give me the entire lines of command. How can I keep them in Excel? Will it be okay to keep it? 10
with the
to
help of
10 to 20 lines. Why should I keep in a Excel which I'm sending to customer?
regex.
Okay. So you are from the old batch. So I think, what about others? Others come with
Yeah, I
some
can
ideas.
maybe I can answer. We can
Yeah.
run soran and grep command, or you say grep command or
If you do
run
grep,
command.
even then you will not get only the specific answer. Let me show you here. Let's say you do a grep.
So run, and here we run include, yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
hostname.
this is the
Hostname.
include command. See, now you are getting the entire thing.
Yes.
I am only interested to capture the host name, the data only. I don't need the generic word. That way, it will be very difficult. My Excel will go in some different direction. Let's say in one column, I want to keep only IP address. Then I have to keep this entire line then for device to device. I want to only keep this data in the Excel, nothing else.
Yeah. So that we can do in programming, in Python programming, this line and this many, any data after this.
Okay.
In,
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone have any other ideas?
No idea.
Okay. So answer is already told by one of my old student itself. So have you guys heard about regex, regular expression?
Okay, where get this?
yeah, the same we use in BGP. Generally, that's one of
Yes,
the.
you can use it on BGP, or you can use it for various purpose. So
Yeah.
this is something which, along with Python's SSH library, let's say NetMiko or Paramiko, along with the Excel package, a single script will give you an Excel output or a generated report, which will give you only a Excel file with all the needful things only. Okay, so that is what the regular expression would do. Regular expression is where you are creating a query, you're writing a pattern, and this pattern will be run against the show command. So you will say that this pattern to be run against show run command. Now, in whichever line we see the pattern matched, it will hit that particular line and take out the data which I am asking it to take it. And it will only print me the respective data and nothing else. So this is how you can create your Excel which is ready to go. All right. So maybe I'll show you a few examples in the next class. We have tomorrow as well one of the second class part of this workshop. Okay, so I'll do something now. Let's say I should be having some script with me. See, there is a small script which is kept here. So anyone who can try to decode this, what is the script for? Just from your understanding. And I understand this is a open class, so just trying to be interactive. So can you try to decode what I'm trying to do here?
You're trying to get show IP in brief and show clock.
Yes. From which device?
172.16.24.26.
Okay. And what the logins? What about the logins?
Admin Cisco.
Okay, admin Cisco. So how am I integrating this and this?
NetMiko.
No. I mean, in case if I have, if I just put it this way. So that versus the current lines that I've put up. So what is been happening? So what is the use of this line number 4? What is it gonna help me?
So it's gonna add IP address for that particular device among all the multiple devices. So it would just target that one particular IP among all the multiple devices on the network.
Okay, but what is the use case for me? You using a for loop. Can I not put this IP directly in over here in the IP key value?
Yeah, it could be done, but in case if we have to specifically make some configuration for 24.26, probably we will have to use this command multi-device among the multi-device for this single device. Use the username as admin and password as Cisco. And say, for example, any other device is there, then we may use some other password or something like that.
So multi-device actually is an array that is configured, and to use all the components of the array, we are using this iterative for loop here. So it will conduct the operation with all contents of the array.
Okay. See, if the ask was just to take from the single device, then I could have simplified it by writing just the exact IP address over here. Okay. But we know that no one is gonna do device. I manually even if it is as you have to automate it. If it is one device, 10 commands, I would why can automate, but which hardly we do it in the networking side, because in networking we are having list of devices to be run this command, right? So if I put this way, then whatever I am trying to execute will only execute on the single device. That is why I kept some iteration process, so that I can include multiple devices. In case if I have 10 devices or more than 40 devices or 50, so I can just separate them out with a comma and make this list. So this is called a list, Python list, used for array of data or collections of data. And then the rest of them are the repetitive task which I would run over on the device. Now they don't take all SSH at a once, they go instead one after one. So the first one comes up first. This is having an index of 0. This will get triggered. Then it will go to the second. This will get triggered. Then the third one will be SSH'd. This will trigger, and so on. So iteration is a one after one process, not that all will go in a parallel fashion. So this has a down limit as well. The down limit is if you have thousands of devices, let's assume that it takes 2 seconds here, 2 seconds here, 2 seconds till the last device, then you just multiply with them. So let me put it over here in the NetMiko, which takes the connection one after one. So let's say this is the package, my Python script. So first it will contact the first device, 2 seconds for the execution. Job is done, connection is terminated. Now the second device is contacted. So let's say another 2 seconds. Job is done, termination, then go to with the third one, 2 seconds. And let's say with this way, you are executing in 1,000 devices. So just multiply with 2 seconds from each one of them. So this is the total elapsed time for this execution of NetMiko for 1,000 device, which could be couple of hours, right? It's more number of hours. So you increase with more number of devices, you will see them, it's taking 6 hours, 8 hours. But that is how NetMiko is designed. So your intention is to have a speed rather than multi vendors or any other, like there is a factor which is what you need to remember. So you can think about taking a Nornier package. So in the case of Nornier, you can introduce a multi-thread concept. So with multi-thread, what happens? Let's say you are executing a Nornier script, multiple SSH all happens at once. So you will define that at a time you want 5 connections, right? So with that 2 second, you are engaging all the 5 devices. So this is when you need speed. But when you need a multi-vendor, let's say you have a FGT, you have a Palo Alto, you have F5, you got Cisco, you got let's say any other vendors, any XY vendor, Huawei or Aruba. Then is when for you speed is not important, for you multi-vendor would be important, right? So depending upon the factors, you have to decide which module you want to go with. There are a lot of modules which support SSH. There is something called NEPAM, PyNTC, right? So these are all termed as SSH libraries, which are capable of taking SSH. That is why here under the NetMiko package, we are considering all these SSH capables. NetMiko, NEPAM, PyNTC, Paramiko. These are all SSH package. SCAPI subprocess are something used for generating the Wireshark captures, collecting the package, reading the package in a string format, etc., etc. And Nornier is once again a SSH package which rely over on Paramiko for SSH. But this will give you multi-thread concept. The speed, if you need speed, then you can take this.
Quick question. All of these packages, when we run a job, do they give back a completion report or, execution report? Like, for example, let's say I want to push TFTP or image to 100 devices. Will it give a report of job completion and failures?
See, you can put a print statement at the end if you want to see the job is completed or not, or take a backup in a text format to see if the job is done or not. But more likely, this type of things, you can better go with something called PyATS. PyAT is something which is used for the regression testing.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can go with the PyAT, which will give you the service is done or not, etc. with the PyAT execution. This is also a type of Python framework. If you go with the regular packages, then you can just include a end command with a print statement saying that the job is done. Okay, so as I was showing you the script, this is when you have multiple device run, etc., etc. So I'll just execute this and then we can have a Q&A. And the next class, I'll show you some more live cases. Okay, so let's say this is one device. Let me see the management IP for this. Okay, so it says that it's 2425. I have defined all the variables here. I'm taking the connection over on connect handler object. I have show IP in brief and show clock, which I would be executing, and then I will be printing this. So now to execute any script, you right click on that particular script and there is an option to run them. So this is, by the way, called PyCharm. It's one of the ID which we use. You have plenty of option: MS Visual Studio, Eclipse, Atom, PyCharm. So there are a lot of IDs which you can use to write your script, debug, etc., etc. So this is PyCharm is also a very popular one, most used one. So now you see this, I could fetch it, the show IP int and show clock. from the scripting point of view. Now, if you add multiple devices and run the same script, then it will run. Okay, I got one question if the passwords are different. So if the password is different, either you can add the input command. Let's say I have a different password. So I can say that enter the password for and add the IP device for my reference. Let me just show you this. Okay, now let's see what happens. Enter the password for this. Right? So this is how it's gonna prompt the user. Now you might be asking, I have 100 device, I cannot keep them writing on a live screen or something. Then you can store this somewhere. You can put it across on a notepad, read it from there, or you don't want to store it somewhere, you want to kind of keep it in an Excel sheet, then you can also have something prepared in this way. Say for example, so these are all backups that we can take it via automation. So you can store it in an Excel format, and then you can just run the script. So let's say if you have a dedicated sheet with your network devices, you have Palo Alto here, and it is having login users. Something like this, you want to run the commands like show interface management. The next device that you have is a FortiGate and its credential is different. Similar way, you got Cisco. So you can just have a audit report prepared using the Python scripting, and then do the needful changes whatsoever is required, and propose the change to the engineer. Now what he will do, he will have to write a script which can read through this Excel and do the needful one by one without any human intervention. Yes, I can see one more question. If we are using jump box and not the direct SSH, then how would we still take the access, right? So this can be done by the help of the Netmiko package itself, using a module, using a function called redispatch. So Netmiko has one specific function which is called redispatch, which will do the job. It will first connect to the jump server, Bastion server, and from there it will take the connection to the Cisco devices. This is when you don't have a direct reachability to the end devices. All right. So in the next class, I will set some kind of agenda so that we know what are we gonna discuss in the next class. So I'll talk about the different modes of connection that we normally have to the devices and how the automation can be done. This is the topic when I will show you in case you have a direct SSH connectivity versus when you have a first connection to the server, and then from the server you are taking a connection to the device, right? So we'll talk about the different connection methods. We'll talk more about Python, Ansible, and API from the perspective of agent versus agentless. We will about some live cases like taking backups, running on a multi devices. Similar way, let's say you have a list of multi vendors. Might be I can show you one case study of regex to generate some Excel, right? So I may not be going in depth because I know there are a couple of people for whom this is completely new. So I don't want to confuse, but I'll just show you the live examples in the live class. So you have certain kind of understanding what is this automation can be used for. Okay. And the class tomorrow is also 9 to 10 p.m. India. So after the two free workshop, we are gonna have a locked session for next 2 to 2.5 month. This is going to be Monday to Thursday batch. 9:30 we will start till 10:30 p.m. Okay. For the pricing for the early bird offer, my backend team has already dropped a message over on the Zoom chat. So you can reach out to that number. So whatever is the best possible offer that is going on as of today, you will get it in case you are booking the slot today. We have a limited seat. We take 15 participant only, right? So there are only couple of seats which are left for this batch. If you're waiting for the next batch, then I think I may not have a next batch this year because now this is what? This is August. So August, September, October, and then we will have those Christmas, etc. So I normally don't take any batch reserve for the end of this year. So my already the weekend batch is going on where I have like around 15 people from a different working folks. So this is already kind of like 30 to 35% done. And parallelly, this is the new batch which would be starting now, weekdays batch. Okay, so the admission for the week batch is open. So you can just call that, or you can just drop WhatsApp message because it's already late over here in India. So you can just drop a message and the early bird offer would be given. The course syllabus, the course module, you can check it over here in case if you have not checked. Regarding to the lab access, we are giving you 6 months of lab access. You will get a 6 month of the lab access. So this lab will include the Cisco vendors, F5, Palo, FGD, which is FortiGate, SD-WAN, ACI, Meraki, any other vendors. I will take you and show it in the DevNet sandbox. Okay, from our side, we will give you this. In case you want to put any other nodes over onto this, you can also do that. We will help you, we'll guide you with the installing of that node. So this is 6 months. In case you want to add on later with another 15 days or 20 days, in case you could not practice, so we will add that as well. Okay. And the recording of every live class is being uploaded on the same day on the web portal. This is gonna be the lifetime access for you in case if you want to re-watch it sometime later, you can do that. We also give one retake within a year of your first enrollment. Recording is lifetime, lab is 6 months. We also give you assistance with the home lab setup. So we have the needful OVA file with the URL and the image, which our backend will host it on your home lab. But only the condition is you should have 16 GB of RAM and 4 CPU. Otherwise, the package will not run. You will just waste time on setting up your home lab. Instead, take the 6 month of lab. We also have the remote rack rental in case after 6 months you want to extend or buy another 6 months. So we have with very, very reasonable pricing the remote lab. You can extend for another 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1 month. It's all your choice.
So for switches, Do you have any vendors apart from Cisco, like Arista or Extreme or Buckhorn?
Yes, we have Arista over in this UNL, but as I told you, if you have a respective image, then we can add it here. This emulator should also support it. It's not that any XY we can. It will support most of the thing. So I believe it should, whatever you are targeting, it should. Okay, so Arista we have already. So it has Arista, ASA, Cisco, Juniper. We have a Linux in case you want to see some automation here. Palo FGT F5 also is doable here, that we take it on a request basis because everyone is not using them. So once you enroll, drop a message that you need a FGT, FortiGate and F5 on your lab. We will do it in the backend and you will have the access to them.
Hi, Sagar.
I think
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
The 6 months lab access, which means including the 3 months class.
Yes,
the
including the class. From it is we are giving you some buffer time till that day one of our class. So that could be the buffer class. From the day one of your class, the 6 month counts.
Okay.
Because some
So
people,
from
because some people would have done the pre-booking like 25 days before itself. So we don't
Okay.
count those buffer time. We will start counting from day one.
Okay, fine.
Well, everything.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, fine.
So, Sagar, basically during this training, everything will be done on that online lab. You will not want us to do anything on our local laptop, right?
Not at the same time of a live class, but as I told you, when a project is given or a previous day script, you did it in your lab or something, you're stuck. So every class we start with 10 to 20 minutes of a quick recap and a quick Q&A. So at that point of time, you can just share your screen and show me where are you stuck.
Okay, but that would also be on the lab which you're providing or on my local laptop.
Correct. Yes.
Hey, I have one question.
Go
Sagar.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
If I have some error setting up my lab at home, how will you be helping me with that?
See, we have not
So like,
started. I understood. We have not started for this automation batch yet because this was just a demo. So we have a week of time. So I'll tell you the process now. So tomorrow my backend will share some Google form in the WhatsApp group, which you guys have been present there for a couple of days now. And in that form, when you fill the details, you will receive some welcome kit emails with the downloadable files and the logins to the remote access, web portal, etc., etc. And the same person will also be sharing the availability for the home lab setup. So you share your screen and get your home lab setup installed on your machine.
okay.
Okay, so our message tomorrow 9-10 in the morning we will drop it.
Hi, Sagar.
Get any work book?
Go ahead.
I have two questions. I just missed what the courses are weekdays or weekends.
This is a weekdays batch. Okay, this is a weekdays
Okay, how
batch.
many hours? 1 or 2 hours?
It will be 1
1
hour
hour.
because I know this is a working hours for most of the people. So it's a
Yes.
1 hour only. Okay, just the
Yes.
demo went for 1.5. Otherwise, the session will be 1.
Okay. So just one thing. This lab, is it possible to deploy it on a Mac system because I'm using a Mac system?
See, Mac is possible, but I think the M1 chip has some virtualization issues and also.
Yes, I'm using the M1. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, the M1 will have a problem because the virtualization don't support. So what you can do is you can take our remote lab itself. 6 months you have the eligibility to practice on this.
Okay.
Hello, Sagar. My own questions actually go like this. I know you already have set up labs, right? for all your projects. But is there a way we can design our own labs ourselves and use it also to practice? I think if that
Yes.
one is possible.
Yes, see, this is one of the ready-made lab. So the same lab you can unlock from here. We will be sharing some password with the enrolled people. So when you unlock it, you can add your own device. Say, for example, let me just show you. So what you can do is, this is like a workspace. You can add any of your lab. Let's say you wanted to add another small project here. So you can do that. Or let's say you wanted to add a complete new set of device. So you will go to the node and whatever vendors that you are, like, let's say Palo Alto, you want to add it. So you can just add it here itself.
Okay.
Okay. So you can build your own lab on the same topology which we would be sharing.
And also, what's the time frame we can actually engage the support team in terms of setting up home laptops?
That would be Indian business hours. So anything after 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. IST, you can trouble them. Okay.
Sagar, Ravi Shankar here.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
As earlier, only Cisco Devnet, there was only one course on Cisco. Now there are advanced, and there is an expert course. Okay.
Yes.
If we go till the expert course, will the other CCI certifications will be required?
I didn't get you. You're talking about the CCI Devnet expert?
Yeah. If we go till there,
Okay.
then in association will that while if we go towards the HR, okay, for HR rounds and all, will the company requisites will be increasing along with the DevNet expert? Will they be
Yes.
requiring that CCI should be also there?
Definitely, because this is very new certificate, and hardly there are more than like 10 people or 15 people who is certified. So if you certify expert level, then that's a very big achievement at this point of time. Whereas enterprise and security, there are a lot of people, and it may not make sense for HR to consider you as because he might get multiple resume who has done enterprise or security. But DevNet is very new.
No, you didn't get my question. If a person, he has done only till DevNet, he has not done anything like CCI or not even done the CCNA also, but he has done the DevNet expert. Okay. So he has over all over the other Cisco knowledges. Okay. So how will the HR approach you?
See, how would HR reach you? You mean to say?
Yeah. So we'll know whether he can, whether if he goes only with the DevNet expert. So will the HR will still probe for other certifications?
Which other certification? You mean security and enterprise?
Security, or I mean to say, will they be also probing for whether IE is done or not, along with the DevNet expert?
See, DevNet itself is a stream, right? So they will be looking you as a automation guy itself. They don't want you to do the regular routing or security thing.
So they won't be expecting that as well, right?
No. See, these are all independent certification. If you're pursuing CCI DevNet, then there is no need that you need to be enterprise or security passed. Okay. So these are all standalone certifications.
And the ones enrolled in your course, then the lab courses will be available for lifetime, you mean to say?
Yes, the recording will be lifetime, and the retake, you can take it one more time in case if you miss some classes or some reasons where you could not attend, missed a lot of things, so you can retake also.
Okay. Quick question.
Sagar, can you get
24/7, or are they need to be scheduled and
which one?
work with the coordinator? The labs.
See, lab, we will give you 6 month unlimited. It's your choice when you run, when you off, and etc. We would request you power off the node so that it don't bring more load on our side. Otherwise, it's unlimited. We, unlike other people, we don't give it for 2 hours or 4 hours. It's unlimited 24/7.
Thank you.
Yes. Who else having any question?
Hey, Sagar, I was asking a question. Can we get a workbook for the lab?
Okay, see how it goes is after every class, I'll be giving you a document attached on the same portal where all our recordings are being hosted. So we have a platform. Let me just show you. Okay, so all the documents will go and sit over there. So let's say if I open up one of my old batch automation. You can see here there is something called script. So this is a recording of that particular class, which was might be a weekend of 2 hours or something, and the script discussed in a document format. The next live class recording, then it's workbook or script. Then so this is how it's been loaded here. Okay, and yes, I just missed one thing. We have also added a new module on top of this, which is called PyATS. So if you see here, there was no mention of PyATS anywhere. So we have also added PyATS because PyATS has been booming in a lot of testing environment. All the testing, all the hardware testing is nowadays carried out using the PyATS module. So I'll show you about the PyATS as well, how you can run the testing jobs, etc., where you can completely scan and get the report, like if the service was enabled, if the things were working fine, everything in a documented structure. We have 5 minutes. You can ask me any question if you have. So are we good with today's session?
So basically, we'll be covering, yeah, no, just to brief. So basically, we'll be covering Python, and then we'll be covering using RESTful APIs and Ansible, and then Devnet,
Correct, and
right?
also
Correct?
PyATS. Okay.
PyATS, okay.
Sagar, my own question has nothing to do with this, right? I'm actually checking out your right, learning portal, and I saw some other trainings actually there being advertised there. But what I can see, it seems like all those ones that you advertise with prices are, how do I put it? Shall I say online training, not live like this, right?
Yes, I didn't get your question, but anything related to the pricing or discount, you better talk to the back
It's
end, okay?
not
Because the
about
things
the
keep
pricing.
changing.
I'm just like those courses that are advertised there, there's always a demo that you always do before the proper class starts. Why
Okay,
why are you
okay,
not
yeah.
attaching those demo to those classes so that at least people can have an idea of what they are going to benefit
See,
if they are
the
to
courses that
on
you
those
saw,
courses?
the courses you saw on our the Learn portal, they all were having a demo. So all the demo, you can check it out on our official YouTube channel. So you
Okay.
will see all the demos across on the channel itself.
Okay.
Okay, and those recording later on goes in terms of like portal basis. So these are all the demo classes for all the batches. It could be
Okay.
firewall mastery, it could be CCI enterprise, CCI security, automation. Any courses we launch, we first conduct 1 to 2 workshops, so the participant are aware that what are they gonna get from this, and if they are confident, then they can enroll to the batch. Okay, so all the demo on the YouTube channel, and later on the video access we give it on the Learn portal.
Okay. That means those ones on the portal, right, are actually classes that will still be taken later on.
Correct, yes, which you can think of out in future. Okay. And guys, if you are first time here, then I would give a takeaway. We have 120 hours of CCNP Enterprise, which I conducted last year. So the playlist is here. You can, in case you're simultaneously preparing for a CCNP Enterprise or along with the automation, you need to go and have a, just quick recap on certain protocols. Though it's not needed in automation, but still, so here is the CCNP Enterprise, which is completely free. You can access any videos. You don't have to download, but if you want to download, you can download and keep it in your local machine. So there are like total 60 videos. Each video is of 1 to 2 hours long, right? So you can take this up. I've given the playlist link. You can bookmark it, and whenever you need, you can watch it.
Why not also in your portal? So at least
yes,
since a lot of us have access to the portal, why is it not there? So that at least you can.
Yes, in the portal, I am not sure if it is loaded in the portal, but I think it's loaded. I think we are given to few people in the portal as well. So if you are if you need it from the portal, you can just send that message or mail to a backend, and they will assign it.
Okay, I will check that because I'm on your portal now. I didn't say it there.
Okay, yeah, you can take it there itself if you don't want this. But this is for someone who came very first time today.